And a new Hall of Fame podcast inductee goes to The Show Radio. No? There's been it's 10 years. Not 7. Oh.
Welcome to The Show Radio. And now, here is your host, Andrew Alliance.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Show Radio. This is episode 336 of The Show Radio. I'm your host, Andrew, and this is your source for tech, gaming, and entertainment news. Head over to theshowradio.info. Once again, that's theshowradio.info, and check out my past shows. While you're there, subscribe and tell a friend about the show. The show's on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and this is 336. We're here. Definitely we'll be talking about Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands open beta. Had a lot of fun playing that for a couple of days. I think it was from the 23rd to the 27th of February. It just ended. If you're listening to this on Monday, the 27th, the open beta is now closed. And I believe the game comes out on March 7th, 2017. So I had a lot of fun with that. Definitely want to talk about that first before we actually get into the news. Definitely thank you for your ears, for listening to the show, and your support is greatly, greatly appreciated. So, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, 10th installment in the Ghost Recon series. It's the first Ghost Recon game to feature an open world environment. And one of the things I really, really liked about it is the fact that it did not put you in a setting like a future setting, which a lot of games or FPSs these days are putting you into this future type setting with all these future weapons that I really don't care too much about. I just want the standard sniper rifle, the standard assault rifle, the standard pistol. You get the point. I just want to be in the real world for a while. So even when you think of games like Call of Duty or the series itself trying to go back to its roots, what made it great and what made people really fall in love with the actual series to where it is today, even though they didn't have the sales that they were expected for Infinite Warfare. But that's a whole nother thing. So I like the fact that Ghost Recon Wildlands was set in the current times, and the weaponry and armory, if you will, was in that same setting as well. So the game actually takes place in Bolivia, I believe, somewhere in 2019, so not too far ahead of time. And as you complete the missions and do the missions, and I think I have somewhat of a hate gene, trying to figure out what was going on with me, even in the process of playing through the missions. There are 6 missions that were included in the actual open beta. You can do the stealth thing to try to finish the missions. You can do the melee combat to take people out, or you can use long range weapons or short range weapons provided in the game to do what you need to do in the game, which is great, which is all great things. But I was really trying to find a reason, if I could be honest, right? Because that's why you listen to the show, because you want me to be honest. So if I could really be honest, one of the things I was looking for is I was trying to find a reason to really hate the beta. I really was looking for a reason to be like, you know what, this is not as good as I thought it was going to be, or trying to find a particular area in the game that I didn't like. Maybe it was too much walking, maybe it was too much driving, maybe how I did the missions. I was really trying to find a reason, and I really didn't find a thing maybe with the exception of one thing that I didn't like, because of this hate gene that some of us, if we actually admit we may have, is the driving was a little too loose for me. Maybe it was because of the cars I was getting into, or maybe I'm just a bad driver. That could be it too. But in addition, aside, not necessarily in addition, but aside from that, I think I had a great time. I did the 6 missions that were included in open beta. There were side missions that you can do not battles. Whatever battle is, but medals you can get through the process of increasing your character's abilities, whether that is personal stamina abilities, or if you have the drone and the binoculars when you're scouting the mission. So let me just talk about that while I'm thinking about it. So you have the binoculars, which is the down on the D-pad, and then you had the drone, which is the up on the D-pad, and then you're able to scout the area, and then you do this thing called sync shots, right? Once you spot the enemy or enemies in an area, right? So I like that part because the sync shots, you can do, I think 1, 2, 3, or 4. I got the character, my main character, up to like 3 sync shots while I was playing the beta, which is really, really cool. So you spot the enemies, you highlight, 1, 2, 3, and then they shoot the enemies at the same time, and you can take out batches of enemies to get to the point where you need to be in that particular mission that you were scouting out, that you're trying to complete, whether that's a kill mission or an interrogation mission or whatever it is. That was fun. So the traveling component of the game, if you found a helicopter, that was cool. You can take the helicopter to your destination, which was quicker. And you even have a section where you can have rebels fight with you, and you can upgrade their abilities and also your team's abilities, whether that's reviving you effectively and the way they move with you and all that stuff. So, regrouping them closer to you or telling them to go to a particular section, so all those things that you were doing in the beta, if you played it, because you may not had or for whatever reason you didn't get a chance to play the beta, but it was really, really cool. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if they have the alpha before or whatever. I don't know. I guess certain things that come out as far as the news are concerned, I miss them. I don't catch every single news bit that happens. But if you were in the alpha, if they had an alpha, cool. But I was in the beta, because it's open to everybody. That's cool, and I had a lot of fun. So the upgrading of the weapons were cool for the sight, and whether you want to throw the suppressor on there or not have a suppressor. Obviously, if you're in a close encounter with that particular enemy or enemies, you'd want to take the suppressor off, especially if they already discovered you. And then from there, you can take the suppressor off and then just go to town, because hey, we're here. We might as well have some fun since we're here. So definitely had some fun with Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. I believe that comes out the 7th of March, 2017. I was trying to find every reason to find a thing about it that I didn't like, and I was very, very unsuccessful in that attempt. One of the things that it definitely reminded me of while I was playing the whole thing was a little bit of the Division, a little bit of the Division. Even though the Division is not an open world setting, there's a lot of things that, the walking around and trying to get to certain areas and picking up the interrogation files, whether that's a video file or something that you need to read and all those things. I really enjoyed that whole experience with the open beta for Wildlands Ghost Recon. So definitely would I recommend it, not recommend it? I don't think you can actually make a recommendation. I try to do balance, even though when I'm thinking these things outright or out loud, I should say. I based on what I played, I think that I had a great time. And if you like shooters, and if you want to experience, if you like Tom Clancy's stuff, if you like Ghost Recon, I think you should check it out. I think you should check it out. I don't think it's going to have a split screen opportunity for you with your friends, but that's a whole nother thing with the split screen stuff, if they still do those things, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But definitely had some fun with Ghost Recon Wildlands, and tell a friend that it was really cool. I would not rate it anything because it's a beta, but I definitely had a lot of fun from the time that it was there, the 23rd, to the time that it ended, the 27th, and that was actually exciting. So before we jump into the other things that I have, so that's all I have for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Before I jump into any other thing, definitely give you this, okay? Just hear me out real quick. I just want to share this with you, okay? If there's any beta that comes out, okay, and if you have the opportunity to play it, you should play it. So that way you have a little bit more context than just watching videos of other people playing it, especially if the beta is available to the public, okay? So I just want to say that. So more news after the break. This podcast is brought to you by ProXPN. ProXPN is a VPN service that secures your internet connection against eavesdropping, hides your location, and allows you to access your favorite sites no matter where you live or travel to. With it, no one can see the websites you visit or track your online activity. Check out theshowradio.info/ProXPN and use the promo code SHORAM for 20% off of the lifetime of your account. This podcast is also brought to you by Audible.com. Audible has over 180,000 plus audiobooks to choose from. Get your first audiobook free with a 30-day trial. Check out theshowradio.info/audiobook for your 30-day trial. All right, let's look at the life hacks and entertainment news. 6 of the best LibreOffice, I think that's how you say it, LibreOffice extensions you should use. I guess you can and should use. Definitely check that out. 5 of the best recording software for Windows. Skype Mingo is now Skype Lite. Definitely check that out. One of the things that I noticed recently on Instagram is now you can upload up to 10 photos in a miniature gallery. I don't know if that's available for everybody, but I did see that they were promoting that, and that's definitely cool. The co-founder of Studio Ghibli is actually coming out of retirement, and I didn't want to butcher his name, which is why I didn't say it, but that'll be in the show notes. Google Assistant is coming to Android 6.0 and above devices. Definitely check that out. A couple of things as far as video game news are concerned. PlayStation manufacturer has filed a patent for what looks like a new Switch-inspired handheld device. Definitely check that out. Twitch will begin selling games directly to the platform starting this spring. The games will be downloaded and played via the Twitch launcher through existing platforms such as Uplay. Definitely look into that if that's your thing. If you're still playing Minecraft, you know, that game that sold over 122 million copies, and you're probably one of the individuals still playing the game every month. 55 million of you guys are still playing this game, which is absolutely crazy and amazing. Sony has sold almost 1 million PlayStation VR. Let's talk about that real quick. So I am interested in VR, but I'm still enjoying the console plus controller, I guess, ability that I have. I think that's still a one-to-one experience for me. I understand that the PlayStation VR is an extra layer, which is cool, but it's not a layer that I'm really interested in pushing right now. I'm not saying that anything is bad about it, but if there's a game or a company or a publisher or manufacturer, whatever it is, that makes the experience for that particular title that they're getting ready to release for PlayStation VR a great experience, an experience that's so great that I don't even want to play, like Resident Evil 7, according to everybody's, takes on how great that was, that is absolutely amazing. And I hope that more companies and game developers are going to craft experiences very, very awesomely for PlayStation VR. And it sold almost 1 million, which that's all we have on it right now. So it is what it is. Koei Tecmo has announced Neo recently passed 1 million physical and digital sales worldwide. We were just talking about Resident Evil real quick. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard was the top-selling game in the U.S. for the month of January, according to the NPD Group. And if there is ever a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter game, that would be amazing. NetherRealm Studios creative director Ed Boon recently spoke to the possibility of a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter game, noting that while there are many hurdles to overcome, if Capcom approached him and that particular crossover, they would definitely entertain it, which would be absolutely amazing. And even before, or very, very early in this particular episode 336 of the show radio, make sure you subscribe and be awesome, because awesome people subscribe, right? And even more awesome people, including the awesome people who subscribe, actually review this particular podcast, because it is really, really dope. It is. I'm biased, so I'll say that, but you're listening, so it must be great, right? So 343 Industries head Bonnie Ross confirmed that all future FPS Halo games will have split screen multiplayer. Split screen multiplayer. Okay, so what is the issue? What is the challenge right now with this particular universe that is being crafted and molded? I guess crafted is a word I felt like I really wanted to use in this particular episode. What is the issue? Is it split screen multiplayer, the issue, the challenge, or is it Halo itself? Okay, so I don't know exactly if I'm going to explore this particular question on this particular episode 336, which is one of the best podcasts in the world, which is the show radio, whether you like to believe it or not, but you're listening, and I really, really appreciate it. So what is the issue? Is it Halo or is it split screen? Because I remember back in the day where Halo, I used to watch this particular robot soldier and killing aliens in the beginning. I'm like, I would never get into that, ever, never get into that. And then sooner or later, I found myself playing this game called Halo. Then I went from Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, whatever, Halo ODST. You name all the Halos in whatever order you want to name them. Now, I was playing all the Halos. Then I played every single Halo, including Halo 5 Guardians, with the exception, well, I shouldn't say that, because that's a lie, because I did not play Halo Wars 2. I did kind of touch on the RTS, and I don't own any RTS Halo games yet. If ever, I don't know. But the whole experience of Halo has been great, from Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST, Halo 4, and then Halo 5 is kind of weird, and we're still trying to figure out if Halo will ever come back to its original roots, just like its other competitors like Activision is trying to do right now. Go back to the roots of Call of Duty to make Call of Duty great again, right? So what is the issue? Is it split screen? Is it Halo? It might be both. But I remember split screen action back in the day where we all gathered around with the pizzas and the Mountain Dews and the Pepsis and all the different things that we used to gather around with. And then we created this Saturday night from maybe 9 to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was. And we had some fun playing local area network or whatever, LAN parties, however you refer to that particular experience like. So are they trying to go back to that for that experience? Maybe. I don't know. But I really miss the storyline that made Halo Halo. That's what I miss. I miss, playing games like Call of Duty that was refreshing. It didn't have a lot of things connected to it. It has enough building blocks to make it great and enough, complications to make you want to learn how to be better at the game. Not to the point where we're so far gone where we have to make announcements and press releases that we're actually going back to our roots to make the experience, like it used to be. It may never be like it used to be, because now we're comparing an experience that we used to have in the past, like a Modern Warfare experience, to some of the things that we're even playing right now. And when companies are packaging old experiences for us to get their new experiences, that is very, very telling. So what are we going to do? Is it split screen? Is it Halo? What is it really? So we really have to explore that and get down to the actual, conclusion. What is making us tick as gamers? What is that? Is it great experiences? Like even open beta for Ghost Recon Wildlands got me really excited to even explore games like The Division, one more time, to go back and just be like, okay, so there were some elements that really captured me in Ghost Recon, and I need to figure out what made it so cool for me to really even think about, going back and re-exploring The Division and grabbing these, the information that you grab from The Division, as far as like the, not codec information, but those little things that allow you to expand on the story, like the audio files and those things like that, which made the experience really, really cool. So I don't know if that's going to make a big difference in Halo or in 343 Industries for things that they're considering for all the upcoming and future FPS Halo games, that are coming ahead, right? But I hope they really understand that it's not necessarily, maybe I'm answering this too far. No, I'm not going to answer it. Whatever it is, it could be split screen. It could be just a Halo experience. I don't know. But there's really nothing right now, and I'll say this for me personally, that's driving me to go play Halo 5 or 4, 3, 2, 1 right now. Maybe revisiting the Master Collection is always fun, but I really don't have a desire to do that right now. Will I in the future? Maybe if they have a great marketing campaign that makes me consider or relive the experiences or the great experiences that I had in Halo, that will allow me to put this Master Collection in my Xbox, whatever, and play it. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but it's something that needs to be explored, and I had more to say on that than I thought I did. So it is what it is. So that's pretty much it on this particular episode of the Show Radio, episode 336. The show is on iTunes, Android, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Google Play. Subscribe with your favorite app and share it with your friends. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.